When people come to you and tell you they're going to give you a cash grant, they're going to increase their old age pension, they're going to do this and they're going to do that, you tell them that we have done it already in the PPPC under His Excellency. Let them reel and don't come again. Now, for a man who for the majority of his life has given service to this country and to the People's Progressive Party, a man who through his policies and his vision took this country out of debt that was plunged into debt in the 70s and 80s, a man who has stood tall in his leadership nationally and internationally, our General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, Dr. Bharrat Jagdeo.
Put it up a bit more, yeah. I love you too. So,
Your hair's shining there.
that's good. You just heard the Jari boss speaking, singing. What about jarring Norton and Mohammed on September 1st? I'm sure you all agree that we should jar them on September the 1st. Now, Norton had at his launch 1,200 persons, and they called it a green wave, a sea of green. Mohammed in Linden had about 300 persons, half of whom he paid, and he called it a blue wave, a sea of blue. Well, I'm from Unity, and it's a fishing village on the East Coast. We had bigger waves than they had there on the seashore in Unity. If they had a wave, this is a tsunami touching Guyana. If they had a sea, then this is the universe of red. That is what we're about. In the last elections, there were 16 parties stacked against us. They spent $419 billion without parliamentary approval. They had everything stacked in their favor, and we jarred them then. And now we have grown stronger. We're bigger as a party. So that's why the victory on September 1st would be a massive one for the People's Progressive Party. So it doesn't matter who they stack against us. One party, two parties, three parties, whatever they stack against us, we are clear about what will happen on September 1st. So, Irfan just told me that the colors are sticking to my head. And you know Norton, at his launch, called me the bald head rat. Well, I can't do anything about the size of my head. This was gifted to me by my parents. And I'm proud of the gift from my parents. So, but Norton is no, as I said at my press conference, no Denzel Washington. You know, and it's not the size of your head, it's what you use it for. But I must confess to you that they used to call me big head even in primary school. And I tried on the caps that you're wearing, and none of them could fit me. So, Norton, have fun. Have fun. But we can't take chances with the lives of our people and our children's future. Instead of going to your launch and talking about the people of this country and what you're going to offer them, you chose to run down your opponents. We're not going to do that here today because we're entirely about message. We're about development. We're about your country. And it is very easy for us to campaign here because every single one of you has seen how this country has changed in the last 5 years. I don't need to tell you about roads we've built because you've seen them. I don't need to tell you about health care or housing or water or education because you've experienced them. So it is an easy campaign that we have here today. But what is important for elections is getting people out to vote and getting the votes counted. Internet doesn't vote. And so all of the others who are campaigning on internet, posting nice images of themselves, the Mohammeds and the others, without facing the media, they have no policy. They're playing the victim. Nothing to talk about. But the internet doesn't vote, people do. And we have the numbers here. But the massive victory I spoke of will be inevitable only if you do the work that is necessary between now and election day. We have to be vigilant. They would come with all sorts of crookedness. We have to be diligent. Every one of you, I expect, who is here will go back to your communities and assist, ensure that people understand our message, that you bring them out on election day, that you assist the activists so that when the votes are counted, then what we speak of, this overwhelming victory, will be a reality. It does not happen by itself, and I need every one of you here, man, woman, young people, old, everyone here, to promise me that when you go back to the communities, you will work to carry our message. You will get engaged. We are moving from here to different parts of the country. So I know the people in Essequibo and Berbice and in the hinterland, they may be a little left out from what's happening, the excitement here. But we're coming to your communities too. Just wait for us. We're going to be everywhere. And you're going to see the strength of this party across Guyana. You're going to see it. So today, I'm sure all of you want us to give an account for our stewardship in the last 5 years. Those who supported the PPP and voted for us in 2020, they must stand here with a great sense of pride and joy because their party went to the polls under very difficult circumstances. They made promises to the people, and we have kept those promises, and you must be proud of your party. And then we have kept our country safe from COVID. We have transformed the lives of many people. We have put over 60,000 people back to work. We now have 40,000 nearly studying at a tertiary level. We have trained another 42,000 people, 50,000 house lots. We have made university free. We have kept our promise to the children by returning their grant. We have double old age pension. We've returned the joint services bonus. We remove all the 200 plus taxes, 50 billion worth of them. We fulfill our promise of no new taxes in the 5 years. We have restarted the development of the Amerindian communities. We rehired sugar workers. We assisted the rice farmers. The miners too got their taxes reduced. The public servants saw increase of over $120 billion per year in wages and salaries. Women were helped. Children were helped. Every group of Guyanese. And that's why you must be so proud that your party delivered. And then those who join us in the local government elections and over the years who are new to the PPP but now are part of this family, you must be extremely proud that we are a party that is unifying Guyana, a party that is trustworthy. You've seen the transformation in your lives, in your children's life. You know we have laid out plans for the future unlike any other party. You know that you and your children are going to make progress in the Guyana under the People's Progressive Party. And we welcome you here today. We welcome all of you here today. You're part of the family. You share in our love. And then there are many others who are now in their homes watching us on Instagram, well, on Facebook or on YouTube, and they're making decisions about their future. They don't want to go to a criminal party that was recently formed, the Mohammed's Party. They don't want to go there because that has no future for their children. This guy is just trying to save his ass from jail. That's all. He's no victim. And they know they can't go to the up-known AFC because those are failed parties. They're parties that don't believe in freedom, would lie to the country and their own supporters like they did with the SOPs. They have no vision, no plan, they don't have any achievement, and they're all about racism. And this country wants to move forward. So if you're sitting at home undecided now, this is the party for you. This is the party. Judge us on what we stand for, which is unity, progress, a party that takes care of people. We're not perfect as a party. There's so many things more we need to do in this country. We have to deliver the world-class health care, world-class education we promised. We have to continue developing safer streets and secure communities. That's why in our manifesto, on our billboard, you say the next term we said concrete drains, cameras in this community to ensure security, cleaning up our communities right across Guyana. We have more jobs to provide. We have more cash grants to give. We have to take care of the elderly. We have to take care of our children. We're transforming Guyana through a digital society so that it would be easy. The pensioners would not have to go to collect their pension anymore. It would be paid into their bank account. It would be better for all of Guyana. And we're the only party that would protect this country too. We're not gonna, whilst we have to be open to foreigners, and we need many of them to work here, we're fiercely patriotic. We will defend this territorial integrity in our country with all our might, all the vigor. And we're led by a statesman, President Irfan Ali, who's been doing that every day. The foreigners who are here are going to be treated well because when we travel around the world, we expect our people to be treated well. But they have to respect our laws, whether they're Chinese, Indians, Venezuelans, etc. They have to respect our laws and our people too. This is important for the country because we are a welcoming country, but we have to make sure we protect our sovereignty and territorial integrity. That is what we're about. So today you hear from them that if it wasn't oil, we couldn't have done well. Well, the answer to that is simple. It's not oil, stupid, and that's not for you, that's for Norton. It is good management. That is what we have. Oil in the budget only funds 37% of the budget. 63% of the budget has to be funded from other sources. Only 37% of the budget is from oil. So it couldn't be about oil money. It had to be about good management. And why were we successful? It's because we made the people's priorities our priority. So we spent on education from 53 billion to 185 billion per year. Free UG, everything. What did they do? They gave 10 ministers scholarships. That was their answer to education. They increased UG fees by 35%. They took away the cash grant from our children. We spent on health care. We have grown the budget, 12 new hospitals. What did they spend on? The ministers got health care insurance for them and their families to go to Ireland to get health care. Most of you don't even know this. That was their priority. Instead of roads, bridges, and farm-to-market roads, they spent money, billions of dollars, on buying vehicles for ministers and urban parks, somebody said. Instead of doubling the old age pension or giving the children money, they spent $2 billion more per year on food in government. So it is not about how much money you have. It is about what you use the money for. And we have chosen to make health, education, housing, water, children, elderly, farmers, miners our priority. That's our priority. You are our priority. That's what has happened. Mark mentioned cost of living, and it's true, food prices have gone up. He mentioned about the global increase. And do you know, you travel here. Many of you came in buses and others drove here. But anyone who owns a car now, or if you own a tractor or any piece of equipment, every day you go and buy a gallon of gasoline or diesel. The government subsidizes it between $500 to $600 per gallon. If we didn't remove the 50% tax, which costs us over $80 billion, then you would have had to pay $500 to $600 more for every gallon of gas. That's how we were fighting against the increased prices. We lowered the water rate with the electricity. If Norton hears this, I've spent a lot of time cussing Norton. Maybe that's why my voice gone. He blighted my voice. He blights a lot of things. So when because we care. That's why we have made a massive amount. We've spent over $100 billion per year on tackling cost of living. Of course, we can't control the price of bora or squash, but we hope that in the next term, we can have a production response that will deal with this. I want you, it's a hot day. Many of you are here. Many want to go to cricket tonight. And you need to hear from the president. I'm not going to speak for very long. So I just wanted you, wherever you're from, to know that you're part of our vision. The sugar workers know today that without the PPP, there will be no sugar industry. At the launch of their campaign, they said they will shut down sugar. The rice farmers know that under Granger, he said no help because that's private. They would get no help again. The miners who are coming out overwhelmingly know that their royalty rate will increase again. The taxes that APNU put on machinery and equipment that we remove, that will go up again. The women of this country and young families, especially young people, know that their dream of owning a piece of land and a house will disappear if the Mohammeds or APNU gets hold of this country. They would stop the scholarship programs. You heard what Norton said. Norton said that 39,000 people who are studying on the gold program, that 39,000 of them who are changing their lives, people of every race, that their scholarship and their degree will be useless because he studied in England. Well, it didn't do him any good because he is worse than any one of those people who are studying under the program. So women will get help, farmers. The public servants also know that their promise to give 35% per year will be, if you had to fund it, will be more than all the money in the budget now, plus the taxes that we collect, and then we'd have to borrow to pay wages and salaries in the public service alone. So this is the future. And do not be fooled by the distancing between them. They promised Mohammeds that if the US tries to take him away, extradite him, they will oppose it. That's why they have a behind-the-scenes collaboration. It's all behind the scenes. You see what's happening now. It's their activists who are pushing that camp. But this guy is, on September 1st, you're going to see the results. He's a waste of time, total waste. So I'm really losing my voice now, and I should end here. Let me end with one thing. Tomorrow, I expect to see many of you who, it's unbelievable. I see this crowd. It's the biggest ever. I've been to many political parties. Biggest ever. Biggest ever. I can't see the end on both sides. I want them to fly the drones now. Fly the drones now and go down the entire crowd. Fly the drones. And do the expand test. There is an expand test. Every time they post a picture, just go click on the picture and do like this. And you can count the numbers because they do fancy footwork to make it look like it's thick crowd. You don't need to do the expand test here. because it's from one end to the other. You don't need an expand test here. Check it out. So tomorrow in the morning, those of you who can make it, and I hope as many of you as possible, come to Freedom House. We're walking down to hand in our list of candidates. The police better make special arrangements for this big crowd. And show up there tomorrow, and you will see the focus that we have. Over 25 of our candidates are under 25 years old. Young people, as well as experienced people, people of every race. Our list would look like Guyana. It would feel like Guyana, because that's what we are in the People's Progressive Party, the only national party. Thank you for being here. We love you. We love you all. Thank you.
The General Secretary of the People